Hello everyone, hola a todos. Today we're going to work on our English through the history of the Maya Civilization. Vamos a aprender nuevo vocabulario y estructuras a través de la historia de la civilización maya. I have prepared some text that we can go over and read together, as well as some questions that we can use to practice our skills. Let's go. Okay then, so we're going to have a look at the text and learn a little bit about the Maya and who they were. So, well, the first question I would ask students would be, have you been to the Maya Riviera? Have you been there? Have you visited the Riviera Maya? Would you like to visit the Riviera Maya if you haven't been there? In my case, I have never been to the Riviera Maya. I would like to go. I think the landscape is beautiful, and these ancestral structures that are still standing are incredibly fascinating and inspiring, and getting to know a little bit more about how these people lived who are prior, son anteriores, they are prior to Western civilization and the colonization or the conquest of the Americas by Western civilization, European countries. Their existence ended, or this civilization collapsed before we got there. So we discovered that they were there later. We discovered the ruins in forests covered by vegetation, which is fascinating. There's also, of course, a lot of crazy theories about aliens and things based on what we have found about the Maya. However, we're not going to dig into aliens and things like that in this video. We're going to learn a bit more of the historical aspects, about the social aspects of this civilization. Another question would be, what would you consider a civilization? So what is to you a civilization? Now, I'm not here to teach you history, or we're gonna learn this together. So what is a civilization? What is a civilization? So first, the stage of human, social, and cultural development and organization that is considered most advanced. That is when we are civilized. That is not a civilization as such. That is a state, to be civilized. However, we have another definition here, which is a civilization is any complex society characterized by the development of the state, social stratification, urbanization, and symbolic systems of communication beyond signed or spoken languages. Okay, now, wait a minute. There's a lot of information here. A civilization is any complex society, una sociedad compleja, caracterizada por el desarrollo del Estado, la estratificación social, que vendría a ser pues que hay niveles sociales, urbanization, la urbanización, ¿no? O sea, se ha construido, se ha urbanizado, and symbolic systems of communication, sistemas de comunicación simbólicas, en el sentido de que son lenguajes que están escritos, que tienen un lenguaje escrito propio, ¿vale? Beyond, más allá, beyond signed or spoken languages, más allá de lenguajes con signos o lenguajes hablados, ¿vale? Okay, so we've seen what a civilization is now. So there's a series of requirements. Were the Maya a civilization? Were the Maya a civilization? Well, the Maya civilization was a Mesoamerican civilization that existed from antiquity, desde la antigüedad, to the early modern period. It is known by its ancient temples and glyphs, sus templos ancestrales o antiguos, y glyphs. Now, what are glyphs? glyphs. Glyphs are these symbols, okay? A glyph is any kind of purposeful mark. In typography, a glyph is the specific shape, design, or representation of a character. So these are glyphs. They are symbols and they have meanings. Now, what is a glyph versus alphabet? Is there a difference? Alphabet glyph generator. Do letters of the alphabet count as glyphs? Yes. A glyph is a single unit of writing which has a meaning within an agreed upon method of communication. Es una unidad única o individual de escritura, la cual tiene un significado dentro de un método de comunicación acordado. Agreed upon means acordado, que está acordado entre las partes, ¿vale? Agreed upon, to agree upon something. Okay, so we've seen what a civilization is, the definition of a civilization. Now, what do you know about the Maya? Have you ever heard about the Maya? Apart from the Maya Riviera, have you ever heard of them as a civilization? As I mentioned before, I've heard things related to aliens and so on. So I know that there are temples that were discovered after Europeans arrived in the Americas, and I believe that they had a sophisticated civilization, relatively advanced. I think they liked astronomy very much, and that's why they made these high temples, so that they could see the stars better. However, I also think that these big structures are like something of antiquity, where civilizations wanted to just show how great they were and how big their constructions could be. Let me see if I just look for the Maya, and I just look for the Maya, we get a bunch of pictures of the temples, mainly the pyramids, and other structures that they built, as well as these ornamental decorations and so on, which look really nice, really interesting. Okay, let's go back to the lesson. Now, what makes a civilization great? What makes a civilization great? What makes a civilization worthwhile? ¿No? Que merezca la pena. ¿Qué hace que una civilización sea realmente buena? If I asked myself that question, I guess that they would have to have access to resources, good system of communication, perhaps, social rules, some kind of authority that manages social interactions and crime and so on, I guess. Maybe that people have freedoms, I guess, but in antiquity, I don't think the slavery existed, right? So things were very different from the way we picture something, la forma en la que visualizamos algo, such as freedom. Okay. So what makes a civilization great? What makes a civilization great? Large population centers, monumental architecture, and unique art styles, shared communication strategies, systems for administering territories, sistemas de administración de territorios, so some kind of organization or system to manage territory. A complex division of labor, so people have different jobs and they have specializations, I guess. And the division of people into social and economic classes, so that is what defines a civilization. What makes a great civilization? agriculture, architecture, infrastructure, technological advancement, a currency, una moneda, taxation, impuestos, por mucho que nos pese, impuestos, and regulation, rules that regulate, que regulan situations and the way things have to be done, and specialization of labor, especialización del trabajo, ¿no? Gente con trabajos o profesiones muy concretas. Okay? All right. Now we're going to read this text about the Maya, and it's going to give us a bit of a summary of what the Maya were. Okay, so here we have a picture of these Mayan structures. We're going to go down and read the text. Okay, the Maya. The story of the Maya began around 2600 BCE, before the Common Era. So you might see BC, you might see AD, you might see CE. You have all these acronyms when we talk about years. Before the Common Era, antes de la Era Común. Now this is a modern way of talking about years, because what we have been doing until recently is saying BC, before Christ. Christ as the moment that Christ was born, the figure, the person, Jesus Christ, which belongs to a specific religion. So in order to include everyone and not focus or not mention necessarily religion in these dates, we use before the Common Era, antes de la Era Común. Mientras que entonces la Era Común es este conteo de años que llevamos ahora. Estamos en 2024, la Era Común son 2024 años. Antes de la Era Común, pues 2600 años antes de la Era Común o antes de Cristo. Okay? So it would be BCE or CE, que sería Common Era. The story of the Maya began around 2600 BCE in the Yucatan Peninsula, a place of lush vegetation and abundant wildlife. Lush means that there's a lot of wildlife, that there's a lot of vegetation, okay? Que tiene una vegetación rica. This was a society that over the centuries, society, which would be pronounced something like society, okay? Be society. Okay. This was a society that over the centuries would grow into one of the most impressive civilizations in the pre-Columbian Americas. So the pre-Columbian Americas before Christopher Columbus arrived in the Americas. Colón, ¿vale? Colón en inglés es Columbus. The Maya were extraordinary in many facets of life, but were especially known for their advanced understanding of mathematics and astronomy. They developed a complex calendar system that tracked celestial patterns with remarkable precision, and their hieroglyphic writing systems was one of the most sophisticated in the ancient world. The Maya were extraordinary facets of life, facetas, ¿no? Aspectos de la vida. They developed a complex calendar system and that tracked celestial patterns. So first, to track es seguir o hacer seguimiento, and celestial patterns son patrones celestiales, son pues las estrellas, ¿vale? Entonces desarrollaron un calendario que seguía las estrellas, that tracked celestial patterns. It's like when you are tracking a parcel, un paquete, a parcel that you are going to receive, you use the tracking number to track the location of that parcel, to know where it is. Ancient world, okay? Pronunciation, ancient. Architecturally, the Maya were master builders, eran maestros constructores. They constructed breathtaking temples templos asombrosos. Literalmente breathtaking significa que te quita el aliento, ¿vale? Breath es aliento y take pues se lo lleva, ¿no? Breathtaking, que te deja sin aliento, que asombroso, ¿vale? Que te deja en asombro. Ok. And pyramids, many of which still stand in Central America today. These structures served as places of worship, que es culto. To worship something es rendir culto a algo y como sustantivo es culto en general. No culto de ser sabio, sino culto de rezo. Okay. Community gatherings, reuniones, and as astronomical observatories. Pronunciation here, observatories, not observatories, observatories, okay? Because we're pronouncing it relatively quickly, we pronounce observatories. Serían observatorios astronómicos, ¿vale? Para ver las estrellas. Y es por eso que construían estas estructuras, para poder ver el cielo nocturno mejor. The Maya was sprawling and diverse. Sprawling means that it was growing, it was expanding. It was a sprawling city or a sprawling civilization in this case. And diverse, que era diverso, ¿vale? Sprawling, que se extiende, que crece. Extending across what is now Guatemala, Belize, and parts of Mexico, Honduras, and El Salvador. Despite their geographical reach, su alcance geográfico, reach, alcance, the Maya maintained a sense of unity through their shared spiritual beliefs. Mantenían una sensación de unidad, ¿no? Se sentían un pueblo debido a sus creencias espirituales. They were deeply religious, profundamente religiosos, and expressed their spirituality through intricate ceremonial carvings and rituals. Through carvings son tallas. We'll see what Maya carvings are now. Carvings. The Maya carvings are these carvings in stone. I believe it's stone, and they represented situations or figures that they appreciated. Intricate ceremonial. Intricate, que son complejos, que son sofisticados, ¿vale? Intricate carvings and rituals. But nothing lasts forever. Nada dura para siempre. Around 900 CE, 900 of the Common Era, the Maya began to decline. They began to decline. Empezaron a descender, a decrecer, a caer. The reasons for this decline are still debated among historians. Some theories suggest that overpopulation and overfarming led to the depletion of natural resources. Está todavía debatido entre los historiadores. Algunas teorías sugieren que la sobrepoblación y la sobreexplotación de la agricultura llevó a, to lead to something is to cause, llevar a, causar, okay, to lead to something, and in the past, led, so it would be lead, led, it would be llevó, okay, it led to the depletion, el gasto, el agotamiento de los recursos naturales. Others point to warfare. Otros señalan warfare, la guerra, okay? el hacer la guerra. Disease, enfermedades, and climate change as possible causes. Despite the fall of their cities and the abandonment of their grand structures, the Maya didn't disappear. Descendants of the Maya people continue to exist today and keep their traditions alive. They carry with them the memory of their ancestors' ingenuity and creativity, a testament to a civilization that once was and that continues to inspire us today. Despite the fall, a pesar de la caída de sus ciudades, los mayas no desaparecieron. Los descendientes de los mayas siguen existiendo hoy y mantienen sus tradiciones vivas. They carry with them the memory of their ancestors. Llevan consigo, to carry, llevar o portar, to carry something, es llevar algo. They carry with them the memory of their ancestors' ingenuity, el ingenio de sus ancestros y su creatividad. Un testamento, un legado a la civilización que una vez fue y que continúa inspirándonos hoy. Okay, so that's it. We read the whole text. Here we have a list of vocabulary that was highlighted in the text for you to check. You have example sentences, the meaning, and also their Spanish translation for you to understand them better. Take a look, read them, try using them in sentences. Write your own sentences, escribe tus propias frases, tus propias oraciones, so that you can integrate these words into your vocabulary. You don't have to learn everything, you don't have to memorize everything. Sometimes it's good just to know that these words exist, and other times there are words that we really want to remember in the future, so we really want to keep them around. So maybe consider making a list, something that maybe on paper or something that you can, or on your computer, of course, something that you can use whenever you need it. Maybe a small notebook that you can take to work, or a list on your phone that you can check when you're writing emails. And if you take a look at these words before you write something, you will find that it will help you memorize them over time better. If you just take a look and then maybe you have to write an email or a letter, or you're just writing for yourself, look at these words and think, I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to use these 2 or 3 words in this text today because I think they're related or they're useful. They are handy. Son útiles. Handy. Okay. That's all for now. I will also share a link to a video that I found on TED. I love TED. TED is just a great source of educational material where you can learn more about the Maya and about mythology that existed in the Maya civilization. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, this text. I hope you learned some new words. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please subscribe so that you can keep on getting further videos. And I hope to see you again soon on the other side of this camera lens in the next lesson that we publish on Life English Lessons. If you would like to do more related to this topic and do exercises that I have prepared where you can practice the vocabulary that we have seen in the text and in the lesson, please consider subscribing to my Patreon page where you can get access to PDF lessons that include exercises for you to complete in your own time with answers, with explanations by me, and more video content for you to continue learning your English. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.